Great. So today I have with me Yoav Alon, CTO of Orca Security. Yoav, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself?
I worked at a few companies. One of them was Hyperwise, which was a sandboxing solution. We were acquired by Checkpoint. My latest role there was Office of the CTO. My hobbies are vulnerabilities. I think they're the closest thing to magic that we have in cybersecurity. But I also, my passion is to help organizations protect themselves.
That's fantastic and a great segue into what we're speaking about today, right? Orca's State of Public Cloud Security Report that we've just released, and almost half of organizations have internet-facing resources that have secrets and credentials in them. You know, more than just the network of lateral movement. If I find, for example, if I'm a bad actor and I find AWS credentials in a script, right, embedded out of convenience, it's much more than the network I have access to. It's kind of the keys to the kingdom, if you will. I don't even have to explore the network if I can log into the cloud console with enough privilege, of course, and sort of understand what you're doing. So this notion of, you know, I think the risks are the same, but, you know, the tangible risk, keys and workloads, again, things embedded for convenience sake, perhaps, but the consequences are much greater.
Secrets management and working with secrets is a hard problem. We had reactions from customers saying that they never heard of such things before we show them that the secrets are there. Sometimes they think they deleted the secrets, but they're actually there. The process of giving people credentials is pretty easy and well monitored. Revoking credentials is much harder. 1 in 5 organizations, we find non-corporate credentials are used to access sensitive assets.
Agreed. You think by now, in terms of the cloud adoption cycle, we'd be at the complex problems, but we're still talking about things like, you know, just about all organizations, let's say 80% of them have, you know, these poorly aging workloads on the front lines, right? As internet-facing resources. We know the shared responsibility model. We know kind of, you know, how to do these things. Why do you think we're still seeing so much of this?
Unsupported OSs are a different beast because most organizations we see didn't look at this. They run the update command. The update command says everything is updated and everything feels good. Once every few years, you hear about a big vendor that SSL certificate went out of date. Someone installed a certificate, and 3 years later, someone else or the same someone had to remember to do something once every 3 years. And things you do rarely are easier to forget. A great example that we see quite often is that we see customers that have deleted AWS keys from Git repositories or other things, but the Git history remembers all. And we see that they have keys there that we show the commit message in the product. You can actually see the commit message, removing sensitive keys, but they're still there. As attackers, we search for those. We search for those things that you know that people are not putting all their effort in there because it's the lowest hanging fruit.
If you could think of, you know, 3 of these low-hanging fruit sort of best practices to maybe mitigate some of these findings or to make sure we're not, you know, our organization is not part of the next headline, what would those be?
I would start with the basics, which means making sure you're up to date. And it's easier to bring this into fulfillment by enabling the cloud to do what it does best. We can easily rotate assets, especially in the age of containers where you just update the base image and redeploy. I would advise customers to monitor the IAM roles and privileges. It's really easy to find yourself over-granting permissions. And today it's easier than ever to reduce the scope of privileges by looking at history or other things like the usage patterns. And I think integrating secrets management into the organization helps to improve the security baseline of the organization, especially around monitoring and auditing, that you can know who accessed which secret and when. And it helps with rotation. When secrets get compromised, you can easily revoke the secret and generate new ones, which also greatly helps when incidents happen. And incidents will happen, so it's great to be prepared.